Hi everyone, thank you for joining us here today. I am at a very good friend of mine's house, and I'm here today for her to teach us how to cook check rice and gravy. It's a very popular Liberian dish, and if you've never known how to cook it, or if you tried and weren't successful, as myself, she's going to teach us today. She's going to give us all the pointers and everything, and then when we're done, we're going to munch. And sorry, but you can't see the other one. So come say hi to the people, Tita.
Come on, Whammery, some mangoes.
Ooh, hospitality.
Hey guys, Tita. We'll be doing a regular chuck rice and gravy. It's very simple, easy. When I don't want to work too much, I cook chuck rice and gravy because you can just get it out like that. Less than an hour. So we're gonna do that.
So for anyone who is dating a Liberian guy, or guys who have been dating Liberian girls and you want to surprise her someday and cook, this is a great way to learn how to surprise that special one, or teach them, let them know that you are trying and learning how to please them.
Hey guys, we're about to start with the chuck rice and gravy. I normally start by cleaning out my kitchen. Because we Africans, I be having my meat dropping on the counter. I like to make sure it's good. So I'm just going to start by washing my hands because, we use our hands for everything. I have my fish here, snapper fish.
So usually, how many snapper fishes will you need?
All depends. Sometimes I will use 5, 3. All depends on the size.
Yeah. So it all depends on how much you're cooking.
Yeah. But today we're only using 2. I have it cut up here, seasoned. You always want to let your fish marinate, for at least 30 minutes to 45 because you want the fish, the seasoning to go in there. And then over here, I have my shrimp. Africans will love bones. I normally get the beef that have the bone in it because I like the juice to go in there and suck it out. So I got it in here. It's just sitting.
So how long do you let it marinate?
Right now, it's just cut clean and in a pot. Okay. So here's the thing with my cooking. I'm a believer of bell peppers. I love bell peppers because I feel like it gives extra moisture to the food. It marinates and has its own flavor. I grew up cooking gravy with tomato paste. I don't anymore because I figure out you can get your coloring from the red peppers. So this right here is our besties for the night. So I'm just going to start by washing it up.
And I just want everyone to see, if you're cooking a smaller portion, so she has 1, 2, 3, 4 red bell peppers and 1 green bell pepper and habanero peppers. Depending on how spicy you like your food, it depends on how many habanero peppers you want to put in there.
So this is the reason I normally bleach my counter, because you see I'm not just using my chopping board, I'm using all this area, but I know it is clean, so I can do this. So I got my peppers over here. I got my chopper. Put my peppers in there. I'm gonna do 4, and then I also have my shrimp and meat in this pot. So right now I'm just prepping. That goes in there. This is just gonna flavor it. I don't eat a lot of peppers, so if you like peppers, you're gonna have that boy. You can always, mash it up in your plate. Huge.
Yes, and now she's chopping up the bell peppers.
Some people leave it whole, but me, I'm gonna put a lot in it. I normally just chop it up to give me more room. So I'm just chopping up my bell peppers into smaller pieces so I'll get a nice fit. So it's 2 in there. I got an onion in there and 3 habanero peppers. This right here is the foundation of my whole meal. I'm gonna use this for the gravy. I'm gonna use it to season my little shrimp and meat, all of that. I have my cubes. It's another thing I do. We got Maggi cubes. There are different kinds, but this is the kind I use, the one that have the chicken on it. And then I use these little ones also if I need to add salt. I really don't like to cook with salt. I use this like to add salt to my. These cubes, they're very, very hard. So what I do always, this is like 3 of them in here, and I just grind it up because I want to use as a powder to season that way. This is my base. So I like to add seasoning to this. That's just not no blending. It has flavor. The salt, again, we don't do ounce pinch. You just want to put like a little bit, like you see, that's just a little bit. It's just to just give it flavor and taste. So, this is plugged in. That's it.
Okay, now question, is there is there a certain way to keep it blended? You know, do we not want to blend it too much to make it too...
Yeah, it has number on here, 1 and 2. I just have it on 1 right now. Okay. If I want it like into little pieces, I'll put it on 2, but I like to have my... I like to see them. I don't like them disappearing in the food because that's how you get the juice. So this is ready. So I'm just going to take a little bit of it and put it in my shrimp. Just like about 1/3 of it. You know, it's not the whole thing. As you can see, just a little bit in here. This is all red and juicy. So I'm going to add a little bit of water in it.
And if you notice, the water that she added in there is about at the same level of the meat. So
you don't want to do too much, or else you'll be cooking all that. Like a spoon in there. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt. Medium. And this is going to cook for like about 30 minutes, just so the meat can cook. And then I'm actually doing this to get the juice. Like, I don't just add water in my food. The water is going to come from the shrimp. It's going to come from the meat. That's like extra flavor. So that's what I'm going to use to cook my actual meal. So all of this right here is just a prep. Most people use chicken. They think with Liberian food you can play with it. We don't just eat chicken soup. We add, like, I got beef in there, I got shrimp, and I got fish. Most people add chicken. Put pig feet, you can put gazers, like just whatever
chicken
feet you like.
I've seen
you can do you can
feet.
do it in that pot. You know, if it's chicken, you cannot boil chicken. You have to fry with the fish. But we're just doing fish, so I got my oil in the frying pan right here.
For some people who may not know what to do, see that she's letting the oil get hot. You know, you don't want to put the fish in there just as you turn on the oil. It has to get hot and ready to fry the fish.
And then I got like 5 fresh tomatoes that I'm just going to slice up. I normally just add that in there, but we all know when tomato fried, you don't know fried, it gets smaller. But you don't want to leave the tomatoes whole again to fry it. So these are just like little pieces. They're not even, but I know, we'll see. Once it's fried up, you won't even see it, but it's going to add the thickness to the gravy.
Okay, so you're not blending the tomato, but you're frying it.
I'm just going to put it in there. So now my oil is hot and ready. There you go. That means I am ready. Some people like that fish like fried really hot. Some people just a little bit, but I like mine medium well because I like the meat in the fish. I don't like it too hard because then you know it gets stuck in your gum and all that. So now I'm just gonna let it fry. You see, as the fish is frying, my little soup is going. So we got 2 things going on right there. The chuck rice and gravy. The chuck mainly back home we use palava sauce, but we're here now we can find it, but I use spinach. spinach works well. And number 2, you're getting, you know, your vitamin K. So it's normally use 2 of these. You can find these in Kroger, just to fresh. I normally add okra to my spinach because the leaf we use back home, the palava sauce leaf, is a little bit slippery. This, I get the grain from it, I get the color from it, but I really don't get the slime from it. So I normally add okra. Like you can just buy these in the vegetable aisle, your Walmart, whatever grocery store you use. And just put a little bit, like I just put 6 in it, but it depends how much you want. I just need my rice to be, you know, a little bit easier to swallow. Because that's the idea of the whole chunk. This is boiling. I got my meat, my shrimp. But the flavor from that, I wish you guys could taste it, but I'm going to taste it for y'all. Well, now I think my fish is ready. But in the meantime, I will check my little soup over here. It has boiled down. I want to leave it just like this because I need this juice to cook my actual meal. Remember, I'm still prepping, so I'm just going to shut this off and let it sit off the other one.
That's what she's doing. She's hanging the fish over the oil for some time to let the oil drip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to have that extra grease all in your pan. And it drains really well once you do that. So I'm gonna use canola oil, sometimes vegetable oil, just whatever. I'm just gonna pour a little bit in there. This is it. You don't need that much. And to test your oil, you can always just pour a little bit, like just a little bit of it in there. It's ready. I'm just gonna pour. Now, as you can see, there's no tomatoes, but it's red. I'm gonna put my fresh tomatoes in there and let them fry.
So about how long do you think that needs to fry?
So, you know, when you chop these up, it's like buck. Once it's cooked, it gets smaller. When it's ready, you will tell. Because all I'm seeing on top right now is the oil. You seeing it?
Fun fact, I didn't even know that. So when it's ready, you'll notice that the oil sits on top of the food.
And then you see like the boils in there, there's no water coming out of it. So that means the water is done.
Yeah.
My little shrimp. Oh, this is my favorite part. So all the juice is under that shell. This is it. So I'm gonna pour it in here. And I'm not gonna let it dry. Now your fish, because we have a lot of water in it. But this fish is fried, so once you put it in there, people don't know, but the fish also help to absorb the water.
Okay. Now I know sometimes people say you don't put fish in there too early because then it breaks apart.
That means the fish is not fried.
Oh,
that's why you
okay.
gotta fry it really good.
Alright. So
I like my fish to like actually cook in it because I like the juice to go
through it.
All in it. And also once you're stirring it, just be careful. Like.
So here that once again, if you fry the fish really well, you don't have to worry about it breaking into pieces when it's in the soup. So, and also as you stir it up, you have to be careful how you're stirring it up. To make things a little easier, you know, you buy the cut up okra, and what she did was use
because if it's a whole one, it will be like 4. Because it's already chopped up.
Yeah.
So just a little bit.
So notice that after the okra boiled for a little while, she's adding the spinach on there to also boil or to steam per se, because
the spinach has, this is a leaf that has a lot of moisture already. Like you don't need to put water on it. You just need a little bit. Remember my pot? The spinach actually added water to my pot, so I'm gonna drain the essence in there. A little bit is okay, but not a lot. And you can see the okra is in there. This is a cute bag of spinach, but it looks like nothing. I'm about to color that thing up, boy.
This to actually really blend very well.
Spinach and okra, I put it on 2 because I need a higher power because I need it to get really smooth. As you can see, you can't even tell it's leaves. So, the rice in a bigger bowl. I like my little dish pan. I got my spinach in here. I'm about to put it in there to color the rice. That's why we call it chuck rice. Some people say check, but I know to be chuck because I know you're coloring the rice.
Exactly.
But we're gonna coloring the rice now with spinach, and I add a little bit of okra in there. So I'm just gonna pour everything in there. And I'm gonna mix the whole rice. Make sure every rice is touched by this spinach.
So as you can see, she has mixed the spinach, okra together and mixed it within the rice. So this is what gives it the chalk rice. This is why we call it chalk rice. And gravy, how the gravy now is dried up and no water. So
No
you can
water in there.
see how juicy that is.
But you don't have to eat that oil because you have all of this underneath. You have to. That's why we blend all those things to have this part to eat. Well, the food is ready. We set plates differently. I prefer eating my food with the soup on top of it. Some people prefer doing it like that. She does. I'm gonna watch me eat and see how it tastes. Hopefully it tastes good. Why you had to go for the shrimp right away? Jeez. This one is gritty.
This sounds
delicious.
This is great.